Frosty Fostings 2026 just happened, and this guy right here, Bleed, is a 16-year-old prodigy who literally just won the biggest 2xKO tournament. And he also happened to post a couple tier lists. Go follow his Twitch, link down in the description. But I did watch him discuss the making of the tier list on his Twitch, and I want to share some insights, right? He didn't elaborate too much, so there's nothing too crazy to go over. But we can look at the actual tier list. I'll talk about what his thoughts are, what I agree with, what I think potentially could change as the meta develops. And he also has a team tier list, which is pretty interesting as well. There's not very many teams on here, right? I think there's a lot of teams in the game, but for example, there's only one Blitzcrank team, and these are meant to be like tournament viable teams. This is a little more nebulous, so I'll talk about the team tier list first. Probably noticed that one of the teams that actually got 4th at Frosty Fostings, Jinx Warwick, is actually in C tier, right? So I think there's a lot of variability and a lot to be explored with the game. For example, I actually think pretty highly of this Yasuo Illaoi team. I think personally it's probably like A or low S tier. It's probably like high A tier. And, you know, someone actually asked Bleed about, you know, why is this team only B tier, right? And it's like, no one plays it, which I think is a very fair statement. I think realistically, there's a lot that we don't know about teams in 2xKO. And therefore, I think this is very subject to change, right? I suspect there's like a broke Braum team that no one's explored, right? Like, are we really trying to say that Braum's best partner is Darius, who is arguably a bottom 3 character? Probably not, right? But the issue is the best Braum player is playing Darius. So therefore, we see his results and we're like, okay, this team's kind of cracked. Therefore, we put him at A, right? But realistically, there's probably another Braum team that is better than Braum Darius. So these team tier lists are kind of hard to do, and personally, I haven't made a team tier list outside of like a joke one for beta because it's just really, really hard. But I do agree that, you know, certain teams at the top like Yasuo Ekko, Teemo, Yasuo, Ahri Yasuo, very, very, very strong, right? Same thing with the Ekko teams, like, you know, Ekko Illaoi's Bleed's team, he rates it very high, obviously. I think it's a very strong team too. A little more concrete is the team tier list, right? And the very obvious thing right here is there's a gap between Yasuo Ekko and Ahri and the rest of the cast. And I mean, he doesn't elaborate much into it, but he basically says, yeah, these characters are fucking broken, which I agree. This is in order, by the way. He has Yasuo above Ekko. I think a lot of people would argue Ekko is above Yasuo. The way Bleed describes it is that if your character is not top 4, then you probably think Yasuo is the worst character than Ekko. But the thing is, what he values really highly is the neutral that Yasuo has, right? You have some of the best zoning with Wind Wall and being able to stall. You have some of the, you know, best pokes with Hasagi. You have some of the best neutral skip with JS1. You're literally the best character on block. Being able to mix up so many different ways. He values that more highly as compared to Ekko. Ekko still has really good neutral. What Ekko really shines is in the post hit, right? Ekko knocks you down, you're getting completely mixed up, and you're not gonna have a good time, right? People have kind of optimized the set play with Ekko to a point where it really feels suffocating if you were ever in this situation, right? Very basic combo. I'm not an Ekko player, so of course I'm gonna. But you throw the time winder, you activate, and then you can react to whether they, you know, do roll. You get a guaranteed punish. If they get up attack, you know, you can just do a delayed button. And if they happen to block, well, you have like a bunch of different mix-ups, right? You have an overhead that's really hard to block, 22 frames. I think the fastest overhead in the game that's technically reactable, I guess. But the issue is he can cancel the overhead into rewind and then go low, and that's really cheap. Although I'm not really the best at doing this. Can you make this hit on the same frame as the overhead? So this is 22, and then... Oh yeah, so you can technically fuzzy this. I mean, technically if you do it really quickly... Yeah, the quickest you can do is 29. But there's so many other like messed up mixes you can do besides this, right? Like some people do this and then you just go low. And then sometimes they'll like randomly cross up, and then you can roll in between, and that'll cross up. It's just completely fucked, right? So do you value the character that is better in neutral, or do you value the character that gives you a better post hit, right? I think they're just both so crazy, and not to mention they have some of the best assists in the game too. I think people, especially even Bleed mentioned this, is that people are kind of woke on Yasuo assist being one of the best in the game. People thought it was bad because it's slow, but the fact that you get the best situation in the game, which is a sandwich situation from like almost everything, is really, really strong. And that's kind of why Ekko Yasuo is so strong is, you know, Ekko, anytime he touches your block, you're now in the sandwich situation where you get hella damage, right? And Ekko assist, Time Winder just being so disjointed and not parryable. I mean, you can parry it, but like you don't get punished on the assist. You just can like RPS a little better. Is very, very strong as well. So some of the best assists, some of the best neutrals, some of the best mix. I mean, these characters are literally perfect soldiers. They keep nerfing them. I mean, realistically, Yasuo is probably like Yasuo and Ekko, like looking back, we didn't really understand the game that well on launch. They were probably SSS tier instead of just SS tier, right? I don't know if there's a huge gap between these characters. I do think Ekko and Yasuo are in their own tier, but I'd say it's like SS to S is about where I would put it, right? So Ahri S tier, pretty typical. The main thing that other people think is like Ahri's up here with Ekko and Yasuo. I mean, it's debatable, right? The thing is, Ahri players just aren't placing as well as Ekko and Yasuo players, but if you look at the team comps that Bleed put, like there's still a very strong Ahri comp, and this comp is actually really crazy. It's just really, really high skill ceiling, right? It can like kill you off of anything. Insane neutral, insane damage, insane mix. And I see there's a couple other Ahri characters. This champ is very, very good. Vi, I think is people are coming kind of woke to her. People are calling this move, Vi Charge S1, the best tag move in the game, and I kind of agree, right? The idea is a lot of these Vi teams, you just get Vi in, you call your assist, you start charging S1, and then you go in. This thing is insanely strong. You know, you can't parry it, but there is counterplay where you can just like release it early like that. Especially if you're playing freestyle. Freestyle is the best fuse, and it makes really good use of this too. That's the main reason. But she also got some buffs. One of this character's weaknesses has always been anti-air, and the fact that you can use her S2 as an anti-air and it converts better on counter hit and it's safer on block is really, really nice. And she also just got some like really nice quality of life buffs the last patch. I think the main thing holding her back is honestly like some of the glitches that are in the game right now. So for example, if I do dash command grab and I don't time it perfectly, I just get the follow-up. I'm getting it correct now, but like yeah, sometimes I will just randomly get like the MRH follow-up to sway. She also has a bug with this, like this will just randomly not connect on counter hit. But other than those bugs, like I kind of agree, this character is looking a lot stronger. The other thing that like really put her above, like really buffed her, is actually the backdash nurse, right? So certain characters like Yasuo can no longer they can backdash, but Vi is one of the best characters at catching backdash. Last patch, this would just whiff. Now you're clipping into a full combo, so it's a lot harder to run away from Vi in neutral, which means that Vi's neutral is effectively buffed. She's one of the main beneficiaries of the backdash change. All right, so A tier we got Teemo, Warwick, Illaoi, and Braum. And most people, so like when I thought of my initial tier list, I think it would be Yasuo, Ekko, Ahri, and then Warwick as number 4, and then it would probably be something like Vi, Teemo. Like you see they're very similar arrangements. They didn't really there wasn't much explanation like, hey, why is Teemo better than Warwick, or why is Warwick better than Teemo? Why is Illaoi, you know, here? That sort of thing. It seemed very interchangeable to me. If I had to guess, and my personal thoughts, Globo just got 3rd with Yasuo Teemo at Frosty's, and Ahri Teemo was also used in top 8 of Frosty. So you had 2 Teemo representatives. This character is still being represented at a high level. Yes, he lost slingshot tag, but he still has bullshit. He still has a lot of good things going for him, right? The combo game is still very, very good in the right team. So for example, Yasuo Teemo double downs, which is probably Teemo's best team, still gets you almost touch of deaths off of like most hits. He still has one of the best normals in the game, which is this jump late. You can fire it 3 times. It goes insanely far. You can do it on tag out. This character has one of the best duo assists, which sounds kind of weird, but like this is one of the best just fuck it, throw it out assists in the game, right? And the reason is it's multi-hitting, it's projectile, which means if you parry it, it's not an issue, and it's very, very fast. You could just like literally check it out. He's also really good stalling. He's still good at stalling, right? Like, yes, the mushrooms are nerfed a little bit, but he could get your assist back, and like the only advantage is like, yeah, you have to charge a slingshot, which is like, okay, yeah, like obviously that's a lot weaker. Like the post tag out situations are a lot weaker, but you can still make up for it by the fact that you can like always get your, you can often get your assist back, and you can very easily stall compared to a character like Caitlyn or Jinx, who has a lot harder time like stalling for assist, right? You can't just like float above and, you know, throw like retreating JLs to be like really cheap, right? Warwick, I think we all know this character is pretty good. The one thing that Bleed said about Warwick and why he doesn't rate Warwick as high as some of these other characters is he kind of lacks a neutral skip, right? So when you think of neutral skip, what like, this is a neutral skip. You just hold it, you go in, and yeah, fuck it, right? You just do it and you say fuck it and you skip neutral. Warwick doesn't really have anything like that. And even though Warwick's like obviously a lot scarier on block than someone like Vi, because this is still, everyone got hit at Frosties, right? They're like this, no one's reacting to this every single time. I'm not reacting to it almost any time. I kind of just mash and pray. But like, yes, his mix-up's really strong. His post-hit is good because his mix is good. But he doesn't really have a skip neutral tool, right? Like, if I want to do Warwick tag out, like, what do I, like, okay, sure. His tag out moves are pretty bad. And, like, even if you're just trying to skip, like, yeah, you can skip neutral and, like, do something like that. But it's risky, right? You kind of have to play pretty honest neutral, as honest as you can with the 5M and the sweep, right? And we got Illaoi and Braum. I think a lot of people think Braum is flying under the radar right now. He got very significant buffs the last patch. The main thing that I see about Braum and like why people are starting to rate him a little higher now is this shield. The shield system is crazy. It just stays out for so long. And like, if you want to talk about neutral skip, this is a crazy neutral skip, right? Like you literally just spawn next to the enemy, do a move that's full screen. Now Braum's in there. Shield now functions with like every assist. This character's post hit is really, really good. The fact that you can just tag launcher and get a fucking bombo that leads into unbreakable. I mean, this is just the most basic tag launcher combo. You already took more than half your health. Realistically, at the end of a combo, that's like 700 or like mid 600s. And now you have to deal with Braum unbreakable in the corner, right? So he has a lot going for him. The issue is his neutral still like complete shit. Like, let's say I do shield plus assist, they back away. Now I'm stuck with playing Braum with like a long ass cooldown, right? That's the main issue, is like this character's neutral solo is just, it's just god awful. But his support value is like legitimately insane. And it's just only made better by like actually having a good assist now. Like that shield assist was okay before, now it moves forward, it's so much more active. It controls just so much more space. And that really buffed him up in my opinion. And Illaoi, like, you know, he plays Illaoi. He didn't really elaborate on Illaoi too much, but I think people are starting to value this very highly. Again, just be able to neutral skip with charge down S2, and you can like bait parries by like not fully charging it, right? You can do something like that. They parry, you die. She has quite a good neutral skip, and her tentacle Oki is just insane. Again, having a really good post tag launch situation. You can now hard tag, and you know, people realize hard tagging after tentacles is really strong because you can't get push blocked out. It's very good. Yeah, I think those are all appropriate rankings. Caitlyn is very interesting. So Caitlyn right now, he actually included the Caitlyn bugs as part of the ranking. We don't actually know if it's a true bug because the devs haven't confirmed it, but the fact that Caitlyn can do basically effectively meterless double down and get a fucking shit ton of damage is very, very strong, right? Outside of that, the character has some support value. The fact that like she can do something like this, and so one of the best tag out moves in the game. Outside of this, I'm a key, and I guess restance technically. Outside of this, she doesn't really have that much going for her. A lot of people think her neutral is some of the worst in the game, potentially one of the worst solo characters. She's just very slow, so she has bad buns. Her shots, if you miss them, are extremely laggy, and her damage isn't anything amazing. She can extend combos pretty well with meter and after a tag launch, but solo not the best damage either. And her pressure is just kind of okay too. Like she has that, yeah, she has an overhead, but it's unsafe and it doesn't, you know, most good players are reacting. So her mix isn't crazy, I guess, but it's a little better than the other zoner characters. But the issue is that she's just not good. Unlike Jinx and Teemo, she's not good at stalling for assist, right? Like this trap is very easy to get around, whether it's you just run up or some characters can like literally invul through the trap, like Yasuo, for example. So if I throw the trap out and Yasuo can just, trap goes away. So it's unlike Teemo where, you know, you can't do that through the mushrooms because there's more than one mushroom out on the screen. This character is very bad at stalling for assists, and she kind of has the Braum problem where if you don't have your assist available and you have to turtle, like literally all you can do is like up back and pray and maybe risk a shot, right? And once the glitch goes away, then she might actually fall lower, in my opinion. I could actually see this character being bomb 2, bomb 1, like if they take this away. Yeah, and this is minus, by the way. Yeah, I think some of her frame data and speed just needs to be adjusted, and I think they probably will do that. Because from what I've been hearing, this character isn't like the most successful at low level because she's pretty technical, right? So knowing Riot, I think they'll eventually buff her. Darius, so Darius actually made top 2 at a tournament. And you might be thinking, and he actually got a very significant buff. So I'm kind of surprised to see him in bomb 3, but I think it makes sense. This character doesn't really do anything that crazy. Bleed is good, but in a game where you get 2-touched, it's not really that strong of a mechanic, right? Like where mix-up is so strong. He has decent assist, right? Like this forward assist goes pretty far, especially with 2x assist. His neutral's pretty decent because he can like kind of stall for time here. He has some pretty good buns. He's missing the bullshit factor. That's really what it comes down to, right? He doesn't have amazing tag moves like Caitlyn. He doesn't have like crazy mix-up. Like his block swings are okay. You can like occasionally go for like that charge apprehend, but good players will just jump it or mash. So his mix-up's a little tougher to execute. I guess his game plan is just a little tougher to execute than others. At a very high level. At low level, I think this character is like king, bro. You just mash and like spam, but at a high level, you just kind of like, you don't have the bullshit to bypass neutral, right? Like at least Warwick, he might not have the bullshit to bypass neutral, but his mix-up is crazy with S1 being what basically unreactable and having an even better 5M. But Darius, like once you get in, it's nothing. I guess I can do that, you know. It's nothing too crazy. And Blitz and Jinx, yeah. Didn't really elaborate on the Bleed. Didn't really elaborate on these characters, but the TLDR, in my opinion, is Blitz is just kind of. He's just kind of slow. Like, yeah, he can restand, but restands aren't that strong in the game where Ekko can do activate install and just mix you up a million times. He does have a few nice buffs, like this rocket punch is crazy. This goes through projectiles. This like deletes characters. The pool is a really good counter to Braum. So like I think Blitzcrank is, if Braum becomes better, Blitzcrank just becomes better as I like counter the Braum. But he's just missing a few things, right? He's missing that neutral skip bullshit, and his assists are like kind of meh, to be honest, right? The fact that you can retreating guard this and it's a little slow is very unfortunate for Blitz. And the air assist, like yeah, this restands, but again, like there's better things to use assist on generally, like just killing or saving it for Oki or something like that. So it's the restands are nice, but they're not as beneficial as you might think in a game like this. He does have good mix though, command grab mix, but the issue of command grab mix again is very unsafe. You guess wrong on one command grab and you eat just as much damage as your opponent. But I think his stocks are up. Before I thought this character was much lower than a character like Darius, and now the fact that like he moves a little bit faster forward, the backdashes are nerfed. S2 is just, this rocket punch is so much better. I could see his value going up. And then Jinx, yeah, I think she's a victim of the system changes, right? She got basically no beneficial changes. I guess this back S1 is a little better, but I still don't see Jinx do it a lot. But she the projectiles go away on hit, and she just gets car crashed. There's too many characters with projectile invul stuff. There's too many characters that can like catch her. Really, the best thing she can do is jump back rocket, jump back down rocket, and jump back regular rocket. Wait for your assist to come back, and then follow it in. The other thing I think is really cheap about Jinx is just being able to do something like this, and then like programming like some really bullshit mix-up. I think she's actually a lot better in duos because there's a lot of cool synergy stuff you can do there. So yeah, this is Bleed's tier list. Personally, if I had to make some adjustments, I don't think Jinx is a whole tier worse than Blitz and Darius and Caitlyn. I don't know if Vi is really on the same tier as Ahri, but other than that, I pretty much agree. I think it's a well-reasoned tier list, and it makes sense given the meta and what we've seen. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And yeah, W Bleed. Peace.